Hey, so today I am 6 weeks pregnant, which is amazing. I'm so excited to make it this far. Every week is just so exciting. So this week the baby is the size of a sweet pea. So they're all like little tiny, and inside they have a heartbeat and their body is circulating blood. And this week they will develop, they start to develop their eyes, ears, nose, mouth, and little buds for arms and legs, which is adorable. This is the week they start getting cute. Not that they weren't already cute, I'm sure. In one sentence, it would be, but I don't feel pregnant. This whole week I have not been feeling very pregnant. Probably because I spent over half the week flying. I was based out of Saskatchewan in Canada and flying down to Cancun, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So my main question is, I'm really curious to hear if you feel or if you have felt the way I'm feeling, because this week I just don't feel very pregnant. I feel like I should be having stronger symptoms. I haven't really developed a lot of nausea. I have had a little bit, but just not very much. And I've kind of had the same symptoms I've had already. Other concerns I've had is this week I was really worried about flying. I didn't know how it would affect me, but it actually went pretty well. I was exhausted. Flying is definitely more tiring, and I definitely bloat a lot now when I fly. But overall, flying was great. It was fine. I've also been struggling with the concern that this is a possible ectopic pregnancy. I had been having for the past few weeks little twinges on my left side. I'll back up a bit. Like little twinges on my left side over here that would happen every so often, but I've been doing some research and it's not been happening very often. I've had no bleeding, so there's no real reason to expect that this is a ectopic. It might be a cyst that when the egg was released, it might have left a space where that area then turned into a cyst, which can happen especially with PCOS, which I have. So that was a concern of mine. Symptoms. The biggest symptom this week is my mood. My mood has been way more unstable than it usually is. Most of the time I'd say I'm pretty emotionally stable, logical, not likely to just start crying or just react to things as I am right now. The biggest thing I've noticed is that I use my car horn now. And I didn't even know what my car horn really sounded like until this past week. But pretty much if someone cuts me off or gets in my way or does anything that I think they shouldn't be doing, like if I'm doing a legal U-turn, so I can do a U-turn there. There's a guy that was parked on the side of the road and it was almost in my way, so I just wailed on the horn when I went by. And usually I would never do that. I always give people the benefit of the doubt when driving. I'm pretty easygoing, but not this week. I've also been crying over really stupid things or getting upset about stupid things, such as on the plane, we have these different salads, and we happen to have these beautiful fruit salads with strawberries, kiwis, bananas, oranges, grapes, and they're all cut up, and you could tell all the flavors have melded together really nice. And I am obsessed with fruit. I love fruit. And my lead flight attendant, or in charge, came to the back, and we had 3 of those salads, and she took all of them. She just took them. And you always ask the other flight attendants who wants to eat what. You touch base, you know? And she took 1 for the pilots and then 2 for the front end of the plane. And I was so pissed. I couldn't believe it. And I usually wouldn't even say anything to my in-charge, but I was like, is that the fruit salad? And she said, yes. And I said, oh, I was hoping to eat that. And she said, sorry. And closed the curtain and walked away on me. And I could have strangled her. I was so pissed. Yeah, so it's irrational because it's just fruit. It's not a big deal. But do not come between me and my food this week. I've also noticed a crazy bloat happening. When you fly, your body bloats when you fly. Everyone does. Even if you don't notice it too strongly, you still get a little bit of bloat because of the pressurization and being at a higher altitude. And I bloat a little bit, but not as much as most flight attendants do. But this week, oh my gosh, I would get home after work and I would look like I was 3 or 4 months pregnant, and I'm only 6 weeks. And my whole belly would be tight, and it's almost like I could feel where my uterus was, and it just was like this tight, gross feeling that happened every day for days. And now that I'm back home, I feel tiny by comparison. I've been home for over 24 hours now, and my body is not bloating as much now. and I feel great. So that's what's been happening this week. I'm still exhausted, and I still have sore boobs. They're just not as intensely sore. And despite me having mentioned 5 symptoms now, I still don't feel like I'm obviously pregnant. I still emotionally, I just can't believe it. So like I've said before, I'm describing oddities to be things that are not clear symptoms, but just things I've noticed over the past week. So I'm finding it odd, first of all, that I don't really have morning sickness. I was flying back from Saskatoon yesterday, and I was at the back of the plane, and I definitely felt sick. I don't know if it was just the terrible smell of the plane or sitting at the back or what, but I don't usually get motion sickness, and I definitely felt sick. And then at home, I've been feeling kind of off at night, but I'm not like throwing up. I don't have like obvious crazy morning sickness. I just generally feel like me being pregnant should be more obvious. And it's just not. Like, it's not as obvious as it could be. And how I'm feeling. The short version of how I'm feeling is that I'm very joyful in the moment, and I'm very excited about this pregnancy stuff, but talking to people about it, my enthusiasm just doesn't translate, because usually people talk about when's your due date, what kind of names do you like, where are you planning to deliver, and those kinds of questions are all future oriented. They're questions that affect what's going to happen beyond 2 months from now. And while usually I love to talk about my future plans, right now the viability of this pregnancy is such an uncertainty. There's just a big question mark for me, and I just cannot talk about future planning for this pregnancy. Until I hear a heartbeat, I just don't know what's going to happen, and so I feel like I'd rather just take things day by day. I don't mind talking about how I'm feeling, but I don't want to talk about what I'll be doing with this pregnancy. I think he's more adjusted to the idea that we could be having a baby. He's able to think more long-term about it. He's already started thinking about the labor thing. He's already thinking about plans we'll have over the summer. So he's able to talk about those topics. He's more adjusted in that way. He doesn't really understand why I still take tests occasionally. Like right now, I'm waiting for those tests to process to show you. And he doesn't understand why I still keep testing, and it might not be logical, but that's the only real confirmation I have that I'm really pregnant, is seeing the lines show up on the test. And I don't think Joe gets why I'm still testing. Also, Joe said that he really, really missed me this time when I was gone. I fly on a regular basis. I'm away from home for 1 day to 4 days at a time, and usually we handle it pretty well, but I think we both had a harder time. Both of us had a harder time with me being away, and he said that he just couldn't wait to see me. He really, really missed me. He was thinking about the baby, and yeah, I thought that was really cute. And something cute I noticed Joe say that I don't know if he want me repeating, but I'm gonna repeat it anyways, is that he really wants the baby to have a panda hat, so he wants to learn how to knit and crochet so that he can make a panda hat for the baby. Which is like, that like almost makes me cry because it's so cute. Yeah, I'm going to do the cabbage test tonight with Joe, which is going to be a lot of fun. And oh, this is my 100th video. I don't know if I'll post this one first or not, but that's really exciting. Teresa pointed that out. Thank you so much, Teresa. And I'll show you my test. This is what a pregnancy test and an ovulation fertility kit test looks like at 6 weeks pregnant.